Next question. My tests sometimes pass and sometimes fail. Can you suggest how can I improve them?
Okay.
Well, that's what we mentioned with flaky tests.
That's the definition here. Flaky or flakiness. It's when your tests sometimes are passing and sometimes are not. And
well, if it's a unit test that sometimes passes and sometimes does not pass, you have some unpredictable side effects in your code base.
Yes, exactly.
You should eliminate the side effects when testing. Now, if you're testing things in integration and you're actually talking to some external services out of your control, well, there's nothing much you can do.
Yes.
They're going to fail from time to time.
Perhaps increase the timeout, but that's it basically.
It's going to make things slower. It's just going to take longer to fail, right?
Maybe. Yes, maybe.
So yeah, if you're talking to an unreliable system, there's nothing much you can do. That's why you shouldn't have that many integration tests. Try to get a more reliable system to interact with. If you don't have a choice, that's not a problem. Problems you cannot fix, it's not a problem.
Yes.
But if it's in your control, if there's anything you can do to improve, you need to improve it. So if you have a unit test making network requests, replace that with a test double so you can control the system. And you test both the success and failure case. Test all the edge cases with unit tests because you have absolute control. In integration, if you're testing a bunch of components in integration and there's one part of the system that is not reliable, for example, a backend, replace it during integration tests.
Yes.
With something you can control, like a stub. Now you actually want to test talking to this external system that is unreliable. Then it's going to fail from time to time because it's an external system, it's out of your control, and it's unreliable. Be fine with it. But the problem of testing an unreliable system that fails from time to time is that you're going to start ignoring failures. And maybe it's a fatal failure.
Right.
You're not going to pay attention because, this system always fails. So it's probably another false negative. It's probably another flaky run.
Yeah.
Just ignore it. But other things that make tests flaky is if there's any dependency between tests. For example, you have 3 tests and test 2 only passes if test 1 was run before.
So the order here of execution, you mean?
Yes. If there's any order dependency, you cannot run test 2 in isolation, for example.
Right.
Because it depends on the result of test 1. It's leaving some side effects in the system.
Yes.
You don't want that.
No.
You should be able to run the test isolation, run only one test, or run the whole suite. And they should be fast and reliable.
Yes.
So one thing you can do to find those flake tests, go to Xcode, go to your scheme, select your test configuration, select the test target, and enable randomize test order. And run the test a couple of times.
Yeah, that should do it. That should reveal the flaky ones.
Exactly. Because I've seen tests that start failing because the test file was renamed.
Right.
For example, if you have a test file called ABC and you rename it to Z. Because normally the tests run in alphabetical order.
Right.
So if by renaming the test, you change the alphabetical order of it, it may start failing.
Yeah.
That's a flaky test. You don't want that.
Yeah.
That can drive you insane.
Yes.
How renaming a test make it fail? It makes no sense. Well, if there's an order dependency, it does make sense.
Yes.
Everything that fails makes sense somehow. We just cannot see it.
Exactly.
So enable random order. Other things that make tests flaky. Race conditions. Enable the thread sanitizer.
Yes.
Other things that make UI tests unreliable. Executing code in background thread. UI code in background thread. Activate the main thread sanitizer. So there are a bunch of tools that can help you. But ultimately, you need to have the discipline of creating those isolated tests that don't influence each other. Eliminating side effects.
Exactly. And you need to be mindful when you're creating side effects in the first place to do that. So exactly. It's a process.
So globals are a no.
Yes, they are.
Because they make things more unreliable.
Yes.
They are shared state.
Yes, exactly.
So you should eliminate those globals as much as possible.